Good morning out there, traders. It is June 3rd, 2024, and welcome to the Apteros Daily Market Insight. Let's dive into our recap. So, taking a look at our general idea, what we're looking for coming into the session, we were playing out this bearish scenario here where I was mentioning that this particular area was going to be important to the downside early in the session for sure. So, as we were coming into the open, we started to see, a little bit of a push coming up through that area, but there's no acceptance, no price acceptance above that area yet. So, we're still in scenario one, we're still bearish in this zone. It starts to stabilize in this section here. And kind of coming into the open, we start to see, that failure pattern appearing here with no new high on the session, and the market just playing out kind of right into our first target area that we were looking for. And then from there, getting a nice continuation all the way down into our stretch target, our kind of a, you know, nice move type of scenario. And we get down to these lows here, and the market decides that it's time to just rally off at the end of a month, right? So, I mean, these kind of things can happen, but this really was the trade that we were planning. That was really the end of the line for us in terms of DMI. From there on, there was no opportunity to get short again off of this line in the sand. There was no turn, no inflections. You get up to here, and the only real inflection there was to get short were here and here. But it was really just literally heading into the end of the day. It was the last minute or so of the day. So nothing really there for us in terms of extra opportunity to get involved in this bullish move, mainly because our context was bearish, right? So we're not trying to catch this move, right? That's not the idea of what we do with our DMI. Our DMI is trading what is and staying consistent with that. And the what is picture in the morning as we were prepping was bearish overall in context. This was the move that we were looking to trade because this was the one that we planned and prepped, and it worked out great for us. All right, so let's take a look at what's going on today. All right, so even after Friday's kind of rally there into the afternoon, it didn't really shift anything for the Bulls just yet. We did come into an area now where we're paying attention to the Bears, especially in here. So this is kind of the zone where we're going to make a decision in this market, kind of moving forward a little bit. But our higher time frames are still stuck in locations where they are generally more bearish still. So that rally really was in the grand scheme of things, nothing more than a pullback on many time frames. Now, there is some dissonance in that read, right? There is some dissonance in that analysis, in that the particular low that we made on Friday was coming from some trade locations and some trade ideas that are bullish in nature. So the ES market right now, we have a clear line in the sand on different scenarios, but it is dissonant overall on multiple time frames between bullish ideas and bearish ideas. In the ranking and distilling process, at this point, our line in the sand is more bearish in nature. So that's really kind of how we're going to break down today's scenarios. We have a little bit more of a bearish skew on this line in the sand. So scenario one is that we essentially hold it, we start rotating back down into some neutral references, and that's kind of our first target really, for a nice downside move, is this first highlighted area here. From there, if we get any continuation of the downside, it's really just about following neutral references into the highlighted areas if we can, if the market is considerably bearish at that point. If that doesn't play out, scenario two would be a little bit more of a scalp type of scenario, because if we get up above this zone here, this is really where the scalp level opportunity is, and we get some lower time frames kind of shifting in our favor, setting up trade ideas across there, and then we head up into test our next bearish reference, which at this point, this would be a little bit more of the bearish area that we'd be paying attention to, up above this this bearish line in the sand if we get scenario two. So that's the overall breakdown of that. And of course, if everything, if we get this, extended rally or something like that, a very bullish environment, we're looking, out into some stretch targets up above there, especially if you get up above this particular area, which is a little bit more of a value built in previous price action and so forth. So, all right. Hopefully that covers everything for you. I'm pretty sure it does. Trade well out there, mind your risk, and let's get after it.